I'm sitting with this test and I'm still trying to take it in.
The last time we spoke, we just found out we were having a baby.
I'm really fucking pregnant. I feel like in this moment I'm being forced to process it.
You could only imagine the hormonal emotions I was feeling once I just found out I was pregnant. It was a shock, and it was tough.
God has got you.
The tough feelings that I felt were just those natural feelings that you get. That fear of the unknown, facing that, dealing with that. The pregnancy, emotions and hormones just exacerbate all those feelings that you have, those anxieties and worries. And it can feel overwhelming sometimes and also quite isolating. Even though you may have people around you that support you and love you and care for you, you being the one that's pregnant, you're the one that feels those changes in your body, changes that you can't control. And I guess that's the isolating part. I mean, pregnancy is beautiful, but I guess they don't talk about the reality side of it.
The craziest thing, I wake up every day and I have no appetite. And sometimes I have to force myself to eat. I'll go like a good 10 hours with not eat. It'll be like the middle of the day, late afternoon, and I realized I haven't eaten and I have to force myself to eat. It's like the day after my birthday, the day after I made the announcement, and I'm alone, just like processing things in my head. And you know guys, like, truth be told, I did not plan this, of course. I feel like where I've been in my life the last maybe year or so, when things happen, I don't know, I just like embrace like the changes, and I'm like, whoa, okay, so this is what's happening. I don't want to baby you guys out, of course, but I've been thinking a lot about like everything and how everything went down. And like the craziest thing is, when I met Dad, I would tell Naya and Lillian, like, he feels so familiar. And I don't know if this is an overshare or not, but I used to tell them, like, he feels so familiar. Like, I feel like I've met him before in life. I would tell them, like, I don't know why, but I feel like he's going to either teach me a very important lesson, or he's gonna be in my life for a really long time. It used to creep me out, especially with where I am with like my consciousness and like my spiritual life and stuff. I like to really like pay attention to the cues that I feel like the spiritual realm like send you. And I know that sounds super creepy, but I don't know why, like it was just like there was always like this nudging feeling. It was so weird, and I never ever told him that, but I used to feel like he's meant to be in my life. He's going to be in my life. That's how I used to feel. Sometimes you meet people and it's a good feeling. Sometimes it's a bad feeling, but you meet people and you're like, something's gonna happen with you. Like, it's very weird, like I can pick that type of stuff up. I used to say that to Lillian and Niall all the time, and they both used to be like, yeah, maybe he's just supposed to teach you about patience and like having grace and like, you know, dealing with the challenges of like being romantically linked with someone. And I used to just be like, that's not it. I used to like really debunk it, like that's not it. And we used to really bump heads because I used to be like, guys, can't you feel it? Like obviously they can't feel it because they're not in it, but I used to feel like that when Dad and I had the conversation about like the pregnancy and everything. One of the things he shared was like, oh, you always say people come into your life for a reason. And I'm just like, how dare you use my own lyrics on me? I know that I really want to share with you guys, but I also have to consider protecting the things that are super important to me. And of course, like now I have this new extension of my family, and I really want to protect that for my own peace and Dad's peace and baby's peace. And I still want to bring you along the journey, but I think that I have to do things on my own terms and in my own time. But you guys know me, if I do share, it will be beautiful. There will be a message. And how everything unfolded, it was intense. There were parts that were intense, but ultimately it was so beautiful. And I think, oh, I'm gonna cry, oh my gosh. I think the most beautiful thing about sharing this news is that most of my girlfriends knew before even my family knew. When I told them all, they were just so beyond supportive. I don't know why my friends think that I'm more than capable sometimes, but they always just say, Drea, you have done so much amazing things. You're gonna ace this. And that really gives me so much happiness, because sorry, I cry a lot, guys. I actually cry a lot nowadays, but that actually gives me a lot of happiness, because it's good to know that people view me in that way. I feel like in my family, I'm the person that always gets it wrong. And then my friends feel like, yeah, she might not do things the traditional way, but she always figures it out and kills it beyond their wildest expectations. And I'm just like, it's good to have people like that show you faith like that. And genuinely, I pray some of you guys get to really, really experience that kind of love. I genuinely feel like my friends taught me what true love is. I was so used to dysfunction and not dealing with things in the healthiest ways, and my friends taught me how to love without the drama, and the way that they just love me for me. They love me for me without nothing to gain. They enjoy my company, they see me. That is just such a rare experience. They call me out and I call them out, and we just have this safe space, and I just feel so loved by them, all of them, and I'm just so happy. I feel very, very blessed that I have that.
A few weeks after I made the announcement, I experienced bleeding.
Hey, wake up for us, mate.
I'm scared. I'm really scared. I never prayed so hard in my life. I called Dad and he said everything's gonna be alright, and I believe him. I'm scared though. I love this baby so much.
As I laid in that hospital bed, everything was put in perspective for me. I realized that the only thing that mattered to me at that moment, in that moment, was my baby making it okay. The hospital ended up sending me home that night, and they told me that even though it was highly likely that I was experiencing a miscarriage, they were unable to do much because the maternity ward was closed, and unfortunately, miscarriages aren't a medical emergency. After spending a whole night unsure whether I was still with child or not, we returned back to the hospital the next day, waited for 3 hours, and was finally able to have an emergency scan. And there my baby was.
Yeah, can you see? Yeah. I'm just going to get some measurements and then I'll show you at the end, and then I'm just going to do a tummy scan at the end, because I think we'll probably get better images just because of the way your uterus is pointing. Just going to look at your ovaries, okay? Yeah, you've ovulated twice on your right, sorry, I'm just wondering if there's a little second pregnancy sac inside, but I can't see a second embryo inside that because it's on top. I think we'll get clearer images on the tummy scan.
After doing an internal scan and then a belly scan, the doctor confirmed that I ovulated twice. There was a second pregnancy. It seems as though the bleeding that I experienced early on in my pregnancy is very likely that I lost one of my babies. Now, this is a very common thing that happens. However, it's still disappointing, disheartening. It still hurts. As much as this pains me and this hurts me, all I can do is be thankful to God for my blessing and the love of my life.
Oh, pretty baby, don't let me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I have you, stay. Let me love you, baby. Let me love you. You're just too good to be true. just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to
like that
always
one?
lonely.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna tell him twice.
Baby,
Stop.
trust
Stop.
me
Then you're gonna put
when I say,
milk in. Yeah, that's it. Perfect, honey.
oh, pretty
Okay, now you have to put more coffee because you put too much milk. You have to put more coffee in because you put too much milk. Babe, trust me.
And Dad is Muslim, so Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim followers. You know, I can't wait for my child to learn about Islam. Oh, it's so beautiful. Don't you think so? Ring the alarm. I've been through this too long, but I'll be damned if I see another chick on your arm.